a pretty uneventful day for the Patriots yesterday. We thought they were going to make some moves or at least take some calls on some high-end veterans they could maybe swap out for some future draft stock, but nothing. They didn't do anything since last Monday when they traded Josh Uche to the Kansas City Chiefs, and I honestly thought that was going to open the whole window for majority of the veterans to be shipped out and have Elliott Wolf just rely on the young guys for the next season until they can go and draft some help to maybe get Drake Maye an offensive tackle. But instead, the Patriots made 0 moves on the trade market, and we're going to explain why. So, before I answer that, I want to ask you guys a question. Should the Patriots have made a trade? I posted this on our community page a day before the trade deadline, and you guys put over 80 comments in there telling me who you want to see traded from the New England Patriots. So, type Y for yes, type N for no. If you're glad the young guys are there and so are the veterans, then type N for no. If you really wanted the Patriots to bulk up their draft capital, well, type Y for yes. So, why didn't New England make a move? It's not like we've got the greatest players of all time on our roster anymore, so I know that can definitely have a factor in it. It's not like we've got a winning record right now, so maybe players don't want to come to New England because, well, we're not really Super Bowl candidates this year. That's okay. That's what a rebuild's for. But here's what Jerod Mayo had to say and why the Patriots didn't trade. Not sure. I mean, look, for us, it's about value. It's about thinking about the present and also trying to get better in the future. Well, that is the most mixed message I have read all day. You pretty much said, we're good now, but we want to be better in the future. But you did nothing to help that. In fact, Elliott Wolf actually had the audacity to release a press release the minute the trade deadline was over, and we thought maybe he made a last-minute move. No. It was just confirming what we had already known, which was they pretty much made changes to the practice squad. And if you know who any of these players are, well, congratulations to you. They obviously didn't help the Patriots win, and now they're not going to help them win or lose because, well, they're no longer on the team, and you sign Monty Rice to the practice squad. That was it. Not to mention, Diana Rossini comes out about 10 minutes after the trade deadline is over saying that the Patriots were actually shopping a little bit in the trade market, or should I say other teams were shopping the Patriots roster. The Patriots were receiving calls on Davon Godchaux, KJ Osborn, which I was extremely surprised. You didn't even try to go out and get a 6th-round pick for KJ Osborn, Kyle Duggar, and Kendrick Bourne, pretty much proving that nobody really called about Tyquan Thornton either. But Diana said, unfortunately, the Patriots didn't make a single move except for Josh Uche to the Chiefs last Monday. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, all right, Davon Godchaux, that makes sense. You just extended him, you just extended Kyle Duggar, and they both have voiced that they want to stay in New England. They like kind of being the veterans and the leaders amongst all of the young guys. But I'm really concerned about why not get rid of Kendrick Bourne, who just came back from the IR a few weeks ago, and why the hell not get rid of KJ Osborn? Because I thought when the 53-man roster came out, 7 receivers were going to help somebody like Drake Maye. But in fact, it's not. It's just taking targets away from guys that need to be catching the football. And when you look at the Patriots pass catchers, you've got 7 different receivers as options every single Sunday, pending a healthy scratch or two like last week between Thornton and Osborn. And I look at this list here, I really only trust a few. I trust Kayshon Boutte on the go routes, I trust Demario Douglas on the quick slants, and I trust Kendrick Bourne out there in the flats. Other than that, nobody has really proved to me that they are worthy of receiving Drake Maye's throws. Not including putting the tight ends and the running backs in the mix. You've got Ramondre Stevenson and Antonio Gibson, who have actually become a pretty good option for Drake Maye because he's got 2 seconds to throw from the pocket. And not to mention, Jerod Mayo, Drake Maye, Jacoby Brissett, they love using tight ends, especially the tight end stack of Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. I think Hooper is the second best run blocker you've got on that football team, not to mention. When he's not blocking for Ramondre Stevenson, he's over here catching passes from Drake Maye as your 4th top target through 9 weeks. Hunter Henry is your leading receiver this year, and he's not even a receiver. So what's the point of all the way down here? not using somebody like KJ Osborn, not to mention Bourne, Booty, and Thornton aren't even on this list of top targets. What's the point of keeping all these players on the roster and not at least accepting or taking or making any calls to possibly bulk up, even if it's late round, next year for your draft? And I want to ask you guys this question here because I know I can be a little bit harsh when it comes to the receiver room because I want more from the receiver room. But who's your favorite target for Drake Maye? If it's not Bourne or Osborn or Thornton, then I really don't have any reason to have these guys on the roster. But that deadline came and went, and yet we still are here with the same draft picks and the same 7 receivers. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about KJ Osborn and how there is a possibility the Patriots just might end up waiving Osborn if he doesn't want to stick around in New England. But we're going to talk about that in just a minute. First things first, I want to tell you guys about our sponsor here on Patriots Today, PrizePicks. If you guys are looking to test your skills in the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America, then PrizePicks is the way to go. You can join over 10 million active users, including myself, and it's super easy to do so. It's actually probably the easiest part of my day. All you guys have to do is pick more or less on a player's projected stats for that evening, and you can win up to 100 times your money with as little as 4 correct picks. Not to mention, if you guys see that is not Steph Curry next to his name, well, that's because that's our Taco Tuesday discount. Every single Tuesday, you get a discount on a player of PrizePicks choice. And then every Friday, you actually get Flex Friday, which is win or your money back up to $20. So if you guys want to go on ahead and get started today, all you guys have to do is download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. It's going to get you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code CLNS. This will give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. Could we see the end of KJ Osborn in the Navy in red? This is now a question because before the trade deadline, Osborn had kind of voiced that maybe his playing time wasn't what he thought it was going to be when he signed in free agency to come play for New England. So now we're thinking, all right, what about shedding some salary? I don't know if you obviously can't trade him anymore, but maybe just taking one receiver less off that roster and making more targets for Pop, Booty, and Bourne. Well, when you hear what Jerod Mayo has to say on KJ Osborn, it doesn't sound like they're heading in the direction to release any veterans. These guys are on the roster right now. We're always, again, looking to get better. And that may be addition through subtraction. Once again, my God, speak in something other than a riddle. I don't know what group it is, but we're always looking to get better. The wide receiver room needs to get better. It does. Drake Maye needs more help than you can bargain for right now. And when you look at a guy like Osborn, I just don't think he's doing it. I think the days of him having over 500 yards in a season are over, which is what he had when he played for Minnesota. But now the trade deadline's over, I find it interesting is that now KJ wants to be a Patriot. Because that was not the message he was sending out on social media a couple weeks ago when he was saying that, trust the process, and he wasn't happy with his playing time. But now there are a couple sources out there saying that KJ Osborn recently spoke to media saying, this is where I am and this is where I want to be. Dakota Randall saying KJ Osborn on not being traded yesterday, I'm doing good. At this point, I'm here right now and I'm excited to be here. Was he surprised to not be dealt? I can't really control that stuff. I don't know how that stuff works going on with the phone calls and such, but I'm just getting ready for Sunday. Well, I'm glad because last week you were a healthy scratch and you got the day off. So if you want to be here and you're excited to play, then when you get thrown the football, don't drop it like you did in week 8. That's probably going to help your playing time, KJ Osborn. And worst case scenario, Osborn commits. He commits and he competes to this team. And I am fine if Osborn wants to turn it around and realize that he can be the receiver that can go for 5 receptions and 70-plus yards like he once was in Minnesota. I don't believe that those days are fully gone. And I think with a quarterback in Drake Maye, if he really does connect with Drake and stop with this OBJ one-handed trying to catch 10-yard slant shit, then I think Osborn can be a good resource. But until then, if he's excited to be here, then I want that to show on the field because after he complained about playing time and went out and dropped 2 crucial third down passes in week 8, nothing pissed me off more than when somebody talks on social media and doesn't back it up on the field. So if he's here, I hope he competes. But should he be here? Should New England release KJ Osborn and waive the salary? Type R for release, type K for keep. I say keep. If he's excited to be here and wants to show it, I'm all for it. But if not, I've got plenty of targets left for Pop and Hunter Henry and Kendrick Bourne that I think should be dealt every single game. And if KJ Osborn does happen to get released, we'll make a video about it right here on Patriots Today by Chat Sports. So all you guys have to do is subscribe.